David Erdos with poem 13 from the AS MUSE. BARBEQUE Boris. And so now we know the full force of what BJ's child carrier Carrie created. A juiced jubilation after the comings, and always between the blonde beasts, who seems to rut as most breathe. What are these women seeing, who marry or consort and support him and hunker on down at the feast? He seems to have as much pussy as pork, barbecuing on as he blusters. And now that he has broken the law, you do wonder if the obscenity of these phrases will be seen as excessive when assessing his infamous rise. Without yeast. For he is not as natural as bread or beer once was in England. Instead, he's a mixture of poison and pride, a failed ale that sours the tongue, even if swilled after sausage. My hatred for him bests my love of halloumi, the bacon-like cheese miracle. And it will be a miracle now, if this signals his resignation. It will not solve anything, but will salve us as my desire for his departure rises to become spiritual. Cummings called this, I'll give him that, the glum golem, inferring as he did all those months back that young Lady Macbeth hated him. Well, we all cheered when he slid back under the rock to roll shadows, and clearly Carrie could not contain her own verve and vim. And yet, that sense of privilege stuns. It's not one rule for them and one for us. There's no rules there. What it is instead is the madness that Meghan Markle has. Narcissists, and no doubt solipsists too, whose Covidic command is a cancer and whose empty egos, even if counselled by Freud or Jung, would be able to recognise what their cure was, or where the catharsis mark truly is. And so the party raged on, as warriors once ravaged cattle. Pigs in their blankets, not to mention cocktail sausages for our bones. Suppressed for over a year, did they bury the paper plates with pale bodies? And were the morning after beer bottles littered around his dream throne? I wonder if they washed down any pills. Apparently not, as they have since had their daughter. But what have they taught her? What type of person will that baby girl grow to be? An Esmeralda of sorts? Married like mum to a monster? Or someone as unskilled and corrupted as the other concubines she will see? Such as Priti Patel. How I hate saying that name as I see her. But also the others who gamboled around on that green. What could we say they were? Traitors? That word? Sandwiched in between tasters, who while we chewed on purpose and our sense of self, they quaffed on cream, cutting the cake and cutting us as they did so. And so now we should slice him. But I feel sick. Any news of him and them is a virus. Please, you can have my peace. Spit his schemes. David Erdos, January the 12th, 2022.